You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Governor Tom Wolf's taking steps to improve community outreach between police departments and the communities they serve. WYLN's Julie Stevnovich has more on the governor's plan.
Governor Tom Wolf announced numerous ways to improve relations between law enforcement and the community after meeting with leaders throughout the state. Tensions have been running high as Americans protested the death of Minneapolis resident George Floyd last week at the hands of police.
All of us here in Harrisburg need to show that people are being heard. So today, I'm taking steps to address concerns about long-standing violence and oppression against Pennsylvanians of color.
Wolf outlined numerous actions, many of which are based on the 21st Century Policing Task Force created back in 2015 under President Barack Obama.
All of us are going to help municipalities develop citizen police advisory boards. The Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency will develop a program that provides technical assistance to municipalities to create a citizens police advisory board to address police action that leads to injury or death. We will work with cities and towns to create organizations that provide transparency and independent accountability.
One of the recommendations is to have all training academies for law enforcement review current use of force training standards.
We will also develop standardized testing and best practices for verbal de-escalation techniques, trauma-centered approaches, mental health first aid, and implicit bias training.
Wolf is also creating a Pennsylvania State Law Enforcement Advisory Commission.
We'll review incidents of misconduct within law enforcement agencies under my jurisdiction and make recommendations to me and the heads of those agencies on how we can improve public interactions and prevent misconduct, oppression, and violence targeted at Black and brown communities.
The governor committed to addressing long-standing inequalities against people of color.
People who are Black and brown should not have to lead this change alone. Leaders who are white need to call out the injustice and speak out alongside the communities that have been repressed in this country for centuries.
As protests continue throughout the area, the governor calls for peace to let their voices be heard.
I urge protesters to continue to be peaceful and denounce those taking advantage of their legitimate anger with illegal acts and destruction. It's time for Pennsylvanians and for Americans to come together around eliminating racism and injustice wherever it exists.
Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefnovich.
Thanks, Julie. Pennsylvania's finally out of the red and moving closer to the new normal. Today, Governor Tom Wolf announced 12 more counties that can move into the green phase beginning Friday, June 12th. Those counties include Carbon and Columbia. The final 10 counties moved out of the red and into the yellow phase today, including Lackawanna. Currently, 33 counties are in yellow and 34 are in green. After the intense 3-day effort from dozens of workers, Luzerne County officially tabbed more than 40,000 mail-in ballots Thursday. The county's majority of voters opted for mail-in ballots in Tuesday's pandemic primary. County and state officials encouraged Pennsylvanians to vote by mail since it was the safest voting option during the coronavirus pandemic. By Thursday afternoon, ballot counting was concluded in Luzerne County. Election officials are now reviewing the provisional ballots that were casted at Tuesday's polling sites, which could take days to complete. So, how many votes were officially counted countywide? Well, that final count won't be available till next week, after provisional ballots are reviewed and both overseas attendee and military ballots are added in. Hazel Township's Jim Bognett is one step closer on the road to November's general election. The Republican candidate claimed victory earlier this week, leading in votes over challenger Teddy Daniels. While other candidates already chose to concede, Daniels didn't, stating that thousands of mail-in ballots still go unaccounted for in both Monroe and Luzerne counties. Though both counties finished counting Thursday, Luzerne still needs to go through its provisional ballots. The unofficial total shows Bognett with 15,920 votes and Daniels with 13,239. If Bognett takes home the official win, he'll face Democratic incumbent Congressman Matt Cartwright in November's general election. The Hazleton Area School District's weighing out options in order to bring its students back to school this fall, while following COVID-19 guidelines. The district has a big task at hand, since it was already working on projects to accommodate its ever-growing student body. Option 1, divide the students into two groups. One group would attend school on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, while the other would report on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Option 2, let students with computers and internet access study from home. Option 3, only let students with special needs attend class. And final option 4, have all students continue to study from home like they've been doing since mid-March. The Hazleton Area School Board must now figure out which option works best to resume education come fall. A longtime local suicide prevention support program announced that this month it'll have to close its doors forever. Over the last decade, Help Stop the Silence has done its part providing the local community education and support to those in need. The organization regretfully announced that due to current financial challenges, Catholic Social Services can no longer provide mental health and counseling services, which impacts the program. It'll permanently close June 30th, but continue to utilize its social media pages to spread the word. Luzerne County prosecutors made a motion to prohibit a man accused of murder from claiming self-defense. 33-year-old Reynaldo Mercado of Wilkes-Barre allegedly stabbed and killed 58-year-old Fred Boot at his home on Donald Court back in September of 2018. He and his 15-year-old girlfriend, Luisa Reyes, are said to have collaborated in the botched fatal robbery. Mercado admitted to killing Boot, but claimed that Boot tried to sexually assault Reyes. This week, however, the prosecution noted in a filing that Reyes admitted to making up the story with Mercado while they were trying to escape. Prosecutors also seek to preclude jurors from seeing Boot's toxicology report that shows trace amounts of meth in his blood. The judge is expected to rule on the motions at a later date. The Hanover Township woman faces criminal homicide charges for her role in the death of her elderly aunt. 34-year-old Isis Brown allegedly threw porcelain figurines at the head of 78-year-old Dorothy Koreny at their home on Solomon Street in March of 2014. A pathologist said Koreny died of traumatic head injuries and ruled her death a homicide. Brown was previously charged with aggravated assault, which was withdrawn yesterday after being arraigned on an open count of homicide. She's now sitting behind Luzerne County prison bars. The annual Solemn Novena to St. Anne is still on for July 17th through the 26th, but with significant COVID-19 changes. Wyln's Phil Kaufman has the details.
Since the 1920s, thousands of people have gone on the spiritual pilgrimage of the Solemn Novena, which is held each summer. This year, however, will be unlike any previous one.
We can make this available for as many people as we can in a safe way.
This year, there will not be masses or services outdoors. Instead, it will take place in the Basilica at 25% capacity.
Everyone's going to be wearing face masks. Everybody's going to be socially distant.
Another change will be the lack of singing. With seating inside the church being reduced, stay-in-car parking in the front and back parking lots will be increased, so worshipers can listen from the church speaker system or on their car radios. Antoinette Gorecki is a parishioner at the Basilica and usually helps out at the Novena food stand. With all the cancellations, Gorecki says she is just glad the Novena will still be going forward.
It's such a prayerful time, not just for myself, but for so many other people. You know, I'm always telling St. Anne, she's got so much to do because so many people ask for her help.
Worshippers will be able to stand or sit on church grounds as long as they follow safe practices. There will also be no 7:30 p.m. Novena Mass except on the feast day.
People will be welcome to come and do something that's been meaningful to them almost their whole life. And they'll be able to continue to do it even in the midst of this dreadful period of pandemic.
The Novena will be streamed live online, and more information is available on the St. Anne's Basilica website and Facebook pages. Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thank you, Phil. Coming up on Wyln News, watch where you park in the city of Hazleton starting Monday. Plus, no fans allowed for Pocono Raceway's 2020 doubleheader weekend. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Alexander Bonomo, and tomorrow's forecast is sunny.
Hi everyone, this is our Feel Good Friday. I'm Dr. Stacy, this is Dr. John.
Good to see you guys. I hope you're all doing well. We want to show you the 3 most important stretches to keep your back flexible and help your mobility. So our beautiful Dr. Stacy is going to be our model, and then I'll summarize it afterwards.
Alright, so first one is to sit up straight, cross one leg over the other, and then lean forward. Don't push on the knee, but just lean on in, and you'll feel a nice stretch through the lower glutes and the hips. Second one is to lay back, flat on your back, knees bent, and just bridge up and squeeze your glutes together and hold for 10 seconds. And the last one is easy. Straighten one leg, bring the knee to the chest, hold for 5 to 10 seconds, and repeat that again.
If they could do this every day for like 60 seconds, they could even do it in bed if they want to. So 60 seconds a day, commit to doing it for a week. You'll find that to get your socks and shoes on are easier, you'll be able to pick things off the floor better. So 60 seconds a day of those 3 stretches.
From the bottom of our hearts, the WYLN TV 35 family would like to say thank you to all essential workers for your service to our community and for keeping us safe.
Tamaqua Area High School's class of 2020 commencement was bumped back to June 26th in hopes that Schuylkill County hits the green phase. Assuming that Schuylkill County does enter green by then, each graduate and 2 guests will be assigned to either the stadium or auditorium. Both locations will have access to each other through a video simulcast. Traditional speeches and songs will be pre-recorded or performed live, and graduates will have the chance to accept their diplomas, but the district should know by June 19th if Schuylkill County ends up stuck in the yellow phase. Officials would then plan to videotape individual walks beginning June 22nd. No more meter violation warnings for motorists parking in the city of Hazleton. After a nearly 2-month hiatus, parking enforcement will resume ticketing motorists on Monday, June 8th, for meter violations. Meter violations weren't being issued during the pandemic, but have been ticketing vehicles parked too close to intersections and fire hydrants. This has been your friendly reminder from city officials before Monday's meter enforcement resumes. So, yeah, put your money in the meters. As counties continue to transition from yellow to green, more and more blood drives are making a return. As the COVID-19 curve continues to flatten, hospitals across the region are resuming elective surgeries, so donor demand is on the come-up. So, the American Red Cross needs your help and is on the lookout for easy-to-get-to, clean, temperature-controlled spaces large enough to maintain that social distance. Red Cross workers are requiring masks to be worn, temperature checks at the door, providing hand sanitizer, sanitizing beds after each donor, and making sure everyone keeps their 6-foot distance. Schedule an appointment to donate online by visiting redcrossblood.org. Luzerne County's local board for the Emergency Food and Shelter Program awarded nearly $462.8K in federal funding to help local nonprofit programs serving at-risk individuals and families. Funds will be split to serve more than 5,000 people in areas of need, like eviction prevention programs, food pantries, and homeless shelters. That includes both Hazleton and Wilkes-Barre's Catholic Social Services and Commissions on Economic Opportunity, as well as United Way of Wyoming Valley, Volunteers of America of Pennsylvania, and Dinners for Kids. Pocono Raceway's 2020 doubleheader weekend features 5 races in 3 days starting Friday, June 26th, without fans. However, the 3-day race weekend kicks off that Friday live on FS1 at 6 p.m. Then on Saturday, June 27th, the first race will also be broadcast live on FS1 starting at 12:30 p.m., followed by the second set to air live on Fox at 3:30 p.m. And finally on Sunday, June 28th, the first race kicks off live on FS1 at 12:30 p.m. The 2020 doubleheader weekend's final race will also air live on FS1 Sunday, starting at 4 p.m. Details and more can be found on the Pocono Raceway's website. Coming up on Shepton's News Choice, your week in review, plus your Luzerne County SPCA Pets of the Week. Stay with us.
When emergency strikes, trust your care to the all-new ER at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. With a facility that's now twice the size. Experienced nurses who see you right away. A quick assessment process makes sure you get the care you need. Advanced technology on site. Safe, private treatment rooms, and a peace of mind that only this level of care can bring. When it matters most, trust your partner in emergency care. Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.
WYLN TV 35 and the Lehigh Valley Health Network are recognizing our area's everyday heroes Thursdays on the WYLN News Facebook page. Every single person, young or old, has the potential to be an everyday hero through simple acts of courage, kindness, and love. So don't delay, spread the word, and nominate your everyday hero by sending us a picture and short message at our website or through our Facebook page at facebook.com/WYLN News. Let's shine some light on our everyday heroes.
Monday. Protests against police brutality and racism broke out in communities coast to coast following the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Former police officer Derek Chauvin was caught on a now viral video, fatally suffocating Floyd with his knee for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, sparking anger, outrage, and some violent unrest across the nation. Governor Tom Wolf signed a disaster emergency declaration to provide assistance to communities responding to the protests. The Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office later determined Floyd's death a homicide, officially listing it as a cardiopulmonary arrest complicating law enforcement subdual, restraint, and neck compression. His family's separate autopsy ruled it homicide as well, concluding that Floyd died of asphyxiation due to neck and back compression. Chauvin was fired and originally charged with third-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. However, the question still remains, where do we go from here? Tuesday. After suffering a 5-week pandemic postponement from its original April 28th date, polls opened at 7 a.m. Tuesday. Despite the updated mail-in ballots options for Pennsylvania voters, some still headed to the polls to cast their ballots in this year's pandemic primary. Fears surrounding COVID-19 forced the state to see a large percentage of voters opt for mail-in ballots, keeping Luzerne County Election Bureau workers pretty busy. Polls only opened at 58 locations Tuesday throughout the county due to COVID-19 related issues. The counting process may take some time with the overwhelming amount of mail-in ballots, so WYLN will continue to keep you updated on results once they start to roll in. Wednesday. 11 people charged with one still at large in Luzerne County for their roles in a 7-year drug trafficking ring. During a press conference Wednesday morning in Wilkes-Barre, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Pennsylvania announced the names of those 11 indicted by a federal grand jury May 28th. According to U.S. Attorney David Freed, the 11 individuals allegedly conspired to possess and intentionally distribute heroin, fentanyl, and crack out of Luzerne County between 2013 and March of 2020. 32-year-old Tyreek Mitchell of Plymouth remains at large and is considered a fugitive. Thursday. Several hundred peaceful protesters filled public square Wednesday afternoon in response to the death of George Floyd at the hands of former police officer Derek Chauvin, whose caught-on-video treatment of Floyd spurred protests worldwide. At one point, Wilkes-Barre Mayor George Brown and Police Chief Joseph Coffey stepped into the eye of the crowd to take a knee and show their solidarity. By Wednesday, Chauvin's charges were upgraded from third to second-degree murder, and the other 3 officers involved were officially charged with aiding and abetting second-degree murder. All 4 officers are now fired from their police department. Friday. After the intense 3-day effort from dozens of workers, Luzerne County officially tabbed more than 40,000 mail-in ballots in Tuesday's pandemic primary. The county's majority of voters opted for mail-in ballots, since county and state officials encouraged Pennsylvanians to vote by mail, since it was the safest voting option during the coronavirus pandemic. By Thursday afternoon, ballot counting was concluded in Luzerne County. Election officials are now reviewing the provisional ballots that were casted at Tuesday's polling sites, which could take days to complete. So, how many votes were officially counted countywide? Well, that final count won't be available till next week, after provisional ballots are reviewed and both overseas absentee and military ballots are added in. That's it for your week in review here on WYLN News.
Life is different, but it hasn't stopped. So when curiosity turns into a rash, an LVHN video visit is just a click away. No matter what you need, whether it's a phone call with a primary care provider or a specialist, or you just need advice on your health, we have a virtual care option that's right for you. And the best part? You'll always be seen by a Lehigh Valley Health Network provider. Visit lvhn.org/virtual to learn more.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown the Hometown Village Square. Looking for information on the coronavirus pandemic? Make sure it's from a reliable source. Go to WYLNTV.com and click on the Lehigh Valley Health Network banner for the real facts about the coronavirus pandemic. And watch WYLN News live at 5:30 for updates on this ongoing crisis. The source matters now more than ever. WYLN, we're your local network.
Did you know that WYLN News provides news updates every weekday afternoon
At 1, 3, and 5 here on TV and on social media?
Did you also know you can watch WYLN News on the go by visiting our website or YouTube page?
Now more than ever,
WYLN is your local news leader.
if you've been thinking about adopting a pet, well, there's no time like the present. Luzerne County SPCA's got more furry friends this week for you to check out. Meet Indigo. She's a sweet young adult cat who loves head rubs and chin scratches. And we've also got Mushu for you, an adult male pit bull and Shar-Pei mix. The once underweight stray's been nursed back to health and loves a good game of fetch as much as snuggling up in blankets. The shelter's still adopting out new best friends amid the pandemic. Be sure to contact the Luzerne County SPCA at 570-825-4111. Wyln is proud to announce that we'll be bringing you Hazleton area's rescheduled Class of 2020 Graduate Parade live. The broadcast will now start at 1 p.m. on Sunday, June 21st. Superintendent Brian Uplinger credited the postponement to circumstances beyond their control. The 2020 class will proceed via their motor vehicles from the Hazleton Area High School and make their way through parts of West Hazleton and Hazel Township. The school district worked with both the City of Hazleton and Borough of West Hazleton to provide this graduate class's parade tribute. So, tune in this Father's Day at 1 to join these grads in celebrating their special milestone right here on Wyln TV. We'll also be broadcasting live from Mountaintop next Friday, June 12th, for Crestwood area's 2020 graduation. Ceremony starts at 4 with a procession parade that'll proceed down Route 309. Students will then walk across the stage to receive their diplomas. Once again, live next Friday. Catch all the action at 4, right here on Wyln TV. The Greater Hazleton Alliance of Christian Leaders will hold a proclamation of peace tomorrow in downtown Hazleton. The event takes place at Center City Park at noon tomorrow, June 6th, on the corners of Broad and Laurel Streets. The message focuses on promoting love and unity during these trying times. The proclamation will be followed by prayer from various clergy with ethnic diversity. That's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page or WYLNTV.com, where you'll find the real facts about COVID-19 from LVHN or who's open for business. Stay with us. Look at today's weathers next, right here on Wyln TV.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi